Hey gorgeous, it's Ker-leen. Thank you so much for tuning back into my channel. Today, we are going to find out whether or not we finally have an inspired version of the ever popular Attrape-Rêves by Louis Vuitton. If you'd like to know how the fragrance Rayhaan Divine compares to the original, then please keep watching. Hey friend, welcome back. Thank you so much for joining me for another one. If you're new here on this channel, I talk luxury, I do review videos, I share my fragrance journey like today's video. I sprinkle in a little bit of lifestyle here and there, and in every single video I share encouragement with you. So if any of those things pique your interest, then go ahead and hit that subscribe button and turn on that notification bell so you know exactly when my videos drop. All right, let's get into it. Attrape-Rêves is an interesting mix of fresh, floral, fruity, warm, spicy type notes with an added note of cacao, which gives this fragrance a little bit of something unexpected. The opening is very bright and zesty with that ginger and lychee, as well as that really fresh bergamot. And then at the mid is where you get the florals with that cacao, and the base is simply patchouli. Rayhaan Divine is a very similarly structured fragrance with the same ginger, lychee, and bergamot notes at the top, but then at the mid you have a vanilla together with those florals. And then at the base, the patchouli is paired with a chocolate as opposed to a cacao. So you have an added vanilla note, and then you have chocolate instead of cacao. So I have already been testing out Rayhaan Divine, and I do have some thoughts, but I'm going to go ahead and spray these fragrances on my skin, which by the way is how I was able to really get a good comparison for you all. I honestly feel like these two fragrances perform very differently on skin as opposed to clothing or on a fragrance tester strip. So I'm gonna go ahead and spray these on my skin, and then these fragrances have also been sprayed on tester strips so I can talk about their dry down processes. Okay, so to me, these two fragrances open up very similar. Bright, juicy, both a little fresh, spicy in my opinion because of the zing that the bergamot mixed with the ginger provide. And so for me, they both open up very similarly. With Rayhaan Divine mimicking those juicy and sweet and fresh, spicy components that are in the original Attrape-Rêves. It's crazy how close they are in the opening. They are extremely close in the opening. Honestly, to me, the only difference, and it's a very subtle difference in the opening, is that Attrape-Rêves is a little bit richer, a little bit more robust, but that could be because I've had it for quite some time, for a couple of years now, whereas I have only just received Rayhaan Divine over the last few days. So it is definitely a fragrance that I will be circling back and giving you an update on because I feel like it deserves some time to macerate. But I was so excited about getting this video out to you all because so many of you have asked me, is there an inspired version of the lovely, the beautiful, the ever popular Attrape-Rêves? And I must say the opening gives the original in the air, on paper, on skin, and on clothes. Now, where they start to differ is in the dry down process, and not just the immediate dry down, but when they have fully and completely dried down on skin and on paper. I feel like on clothes, they both kind of give the same thing from beginning to end, but where you notice the difference is mostly on skin, in my opinion, and then again on paper, on tester strips. So let me grab my tester strips and we'll talk some more. So I have my tester strips right here. Okay, so I have refreshed my memory. One of the things I never noticed about Attrape-Rêves is how it truly dried down, because I'm not much of a skin sprayer. I don't like to spray a lot on my skin. I tend to spray fragrances more on my clothes unless they're clean fragrances. But when it comes to my skin, I like to spray my skin sparingly for a variety of different reasons, but mostly because fragrances tend to have a lot of filler ingredients and things that I don't necessarily want to concentrate on my skin repeatedly repeatedly over time. So I am more of a close sprayer, and I never noticed how Attrape-Rêves truly develops on skin. I feel like it's the kind of fragrance that you have to spray on skin to get the full effect. And I didn't realize that until I was preparing to do this video for you all. So on skin, Attrape-Rêves is so beautiful. It starts out with that zingy, fresh, spicy, juicy, and sweet opening. And then it started to flower at the mid. And of course there are flowers at the mid, but what I mean by that is it truly developed into something a bit warmer. So because of that cacao and the florals, I was getting more of a warm floral, and that is the best way I can explain it. So it started out fresh, but then it turned into more of a warm floral with a sweetness and a very subtle pinch of creaminess because of the cacao. And on skin, honestly, it just kept getting warmer, and the cacao really shines on my skin. It is so good on skin, so much better than on clothes. I will definitely be wearing it on skin as well as on clothes going forward because it is such a gorgeous fragrance. It takes you on a beautiful journey. So it starts out bright, but then it becomes floral and warm, and then on the deep dry down, it gets sweet with a subtle hint of creaminess. Now, Rayhaan Divine, on the other hand, kind of acts as if it got stuck in the opening, so those top notes, into the mid. So it never truly gets warm, at least not nearly as warm as the original. In my opinion, it stays fresh, it stays bright, and it's sweeter, but I'm not really picking up on the vanilla at the mid or the chocolate that's at the base. So for me, it's kind of suspended in that opening and then the development into the mid. Meaning I definitely get those opening notes, that fresh sort of zingy, zesty opening, and then it develops into those gorgeous florals with a bit more sweetness than the original, which might be because of that vanilla that's at the mid, but that's where it stops. It doesn't get as deep or rich or warm as the original fragrance. If you do not like patchouli, I don't think the patchouli is harsh or sharp or overwhelming in Rayhaan Divine. I think it's beautifully done. Yeah, so that's pretty much what I'm getting. The original Attrape-Rêves develops into something a bit warmer, subtly creamy. It's not like a creamy fragrance, but it does give a warm floral. Whereas Rayhaan Divine gives a super bright and juicy and sweet opening, and then those florals come through, but overall is not as rich or robust as the original. Now for the final verdict. When it comes to how close I think Rayhaan Divine is to Attrape-Rêves, I would say that it's about 85% similar to the original, because in my opinion, it does not develop the same on the deep dry down. I feel like this fragrance definitely develops, it takes you on a journey, whereas Rayhaan Divine kind of stops at those mid notes, and I don't really get that sense of smooth, silky, rich creaminess that I would expect with that chocolate note that is at the base of this fragrance. That being said, do I think Rayhaan Divine is worth your coin? In my opinion, absolutely yes. If Attrape-Rêves is not in your budget, but you want to get the feel of this fragrance, and you don't mind that this one does not develop the exact same way as the original, I think this one is definitely worth a try, especially if you're not sure if you even like the scent profile. This fragrance will definitely familiarize you with the scent profile. And as I mentioned before, I think this one needs time, y'all. I think with time, it's going to continue to get even more beautiful. I am really impressed because I didn't think that Attrape-Rêves could be duplicated in any way, shape, or form, but this is a worthy inspiration. I think they got close. Of course, it's only 85% close in my opinion, but it's close enough. If you're someone that is super duper curious about Attrape-Rêves, you want to wear it on a daily basis, get familiar with the scent profile, or maybe you're like me and you do own the original, but you want to savor it and save it for a little bit longer, this is definitely going to allow you to be able to save your original fragrance. I am thoroughly impressed by this fragrance. I was so excited to bring you all this video, and so I really hope this video was helpful to you in determining whether you want to try this out or not. All right, my love, if you are still here, thank you so much for watching up to this point in the video. If this video was helpful to you, if it was entertaining or provided you any value, don't forget to hit the like button on your way out. That truly helps my channel continue to grow and reach other fragrance lovers like us. And if you're here and you enjoy fragrance content, don't forget to subscribe and turn on those notifications because I make lots of fragrance content on this channel and I think you'll love it here. Also, don't forget to check out my newest devotional. It's a 30-day devotional called Align and Reign, and I wrote this devotional for women who are in search of a glow up from the inside out and are looking for a devotional that they can pair with their busy lifestyles that's going to get them closer to God. So if that is you, the link will be in the description box. And finally, before we go our separate ways, I just want you to know that I am praying for you, friend. There is a lot going on in the world right now, and above all, I am praying for you to have peace. I'm praying for God's peace to wash over you each and every day. I'm praying for you to have a sound mind, so a mind that is focused, that is clear, that isn't cluttered. I'm praying for you to have joy, to be able to find things to be joyful about every single day. And I'm praying for your success. Whatever it is that God has you doing right now, I pray that He blesses the work of your hands. And as always, I will be over here doing the exact same thing. Thank you so much for watching this video. I will see you in the next one very soon. Bye!